Mark, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I am amazing. So we are celebrating the 25th anniversary of the first digital ad. Let's talk about the installation, right? You've got these people going through this thing, and first of all, the social interaction you're getting has been incredible all week, so congratulations on that. Can you talk, though, about the installation and why you guys decided to do it here?
Yeah, so obviously 25th year of the digital ad, pretty big deal for us.
Sure.
Obviously with our Adobe Ad Cloud solution. We had a great team who decided to think about, well, what could we do to kind of commemorate those 25 years? So we worked with a great company, Giant Spoon is a big interactive agency. Did a bunch of stuff with Westworld, HBO stuff just recently out of South by Southwest. And we decided, well, let's try something fun. We brought in a couple different agencies to pitch us on it, and they came up with this kind of dollhouse-like experience, right, where we basically walk them through an ad agency, what it was like back in the 90s. Anyone who lived in the 90s, through that ad-like experience, you'll sit down and say, oh no, oh no,
oh no,
oh no, I'm doing it again. You know, waiting for something to upload, having to scissor and paste everything,
sure.
It's the life. They finish that and we walk them into a video store. So some of those, I won't name our old friends in blue and yellow, yep, that you all used to be too. But it's very much that experience. You know, swiping your card so they kind of remember who you are, trying to dig through and find the right video, not having accurate records, right, of where all that stuff was. You know, it's just the difficulty of what it was like back then and how easy the technology is to use today. We take them into a den-like experience where these ad execs are coming together to have a movie night. They end up being served that pizza ad that they created in the first room. And yeah, it's just a really fun way for us to showcase everything that's happened over the past 25 years and how our technology today can really help solve so many of those pain points that existed back then.
When you look back over that quarter of a century, are you amazed at where we are right now? Because to me, it feels like 25 years to some people might feel like a long time, but when you look at it in this particular way, it feels like we did it in 4 minutes.
Yeah, it is, especially when you look back at the technology that was available then and to see how much was accomplished. I mean, the work that they did back then was impressive.
Right.
Especially when you look at the limitations that existed from a tech standpoint. The fact that we can create and review and measure and optimize ad experiences today in minutes or milliseconds.
Sure.
It's a different game. You know, the ability to hit the exact right person at the right time on the right place is impactful, and that's where we're at.
And so let's talk about the next 25 years, right? We're talking a lot about personalization, and we're talking about the customer journey and talking about retention being this year's acquisition or the future acquisition. Yep. What does it look like in your mind as we're getting closer to everybody, or lots of people using Adobe products, being able to do this in real time all across the planet?
Yeah, I think that today, the tech's there. I mean, you're going to keep seeing a lot of interesting things like AI and blockchain and everything else, but the tech exists to solve these real-world problems that people are dealing with. Now it's all about execution. Like, how do we go in, how do we find the right people? How do we find the talent that's going to help us to scale?
Sure.
How do we use the tech that exists today in the Adobe Experience Cloud to be able to create the very best experiences? It all exists, it's just implementation now.
I've been talking to a lot of people over the last couple of days about this siloing, right? The tech exists, but we sort of need this culture to accept the technology in order to execute on that. And I wonder if I could get your thoughts off the cuff on this idea of the siloing of not only technologies, but siloing of individuals and how that comes together, because that's really where that magic actually happens.
Yeah. So you've probably seen, Eric, we're pushing a big thing right now called Experience League. Mm-hmm. The really interesting thing about Experience League is creating a community and a learning platform where people can catch up to the technology to a certain extent. The idea of, here are the tools and here are the skills, now let us connect you to the right people so that you can excel. That's what's happening with Experience League. So I think, yes, the silos exist. The idea of, is there tech to be able to do it? Yes. Do we have all the people? Some companies do, some people are still trying to find it. But I think Experience League is our idea of, here's the training and the community to be able to help you get the most out of that tech that is available today so there aren't these massive silos.
And last question I'm going to leave you with is, we're in the early stages of 2019, there's lots of energy in a room like this. Mark, what are you optimistic about for the rest of this year?
Yeah, I think that you look at the companies who are really excelling and they are laser focused on creating, not selling products, not building continual transactions, but building experiences that make people want to come back. You think of the experiences, Eric, you've had here or at other places. The big idea is simply create experiences that people want to continue to have more and more experiences with you over the long run.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the summit.
Thanks.